Hi, I'm Christian. Mental health issues affect all of us. People you wouldn't even think that it affects. And if you're feeling like you're not quite alright, or you're having issues with your mental health, please don't hesitate to get help, because it can and it will get better. I'm living proof.
Hi, this is Melissa with A Creative Journey with Melissa, and today I'm going to do a creation. It's a scrapbook layout. I haven't done one of these for a while. It is to celebrate National Scrapbooking Month, and of course, Mental Health Awareness Month. You may not know, we've had 3, 4, 5 or so challenging years. My son Christian, who is amazing, and honestly, he's one of my heroes, has and does suffer from severe depression, and really just really wants to help people go through their journey and know that it does get better, and it can get better, but you need to get proper help. He's an amazing young man, and we all have our challenges, and some people just don't realize how hard it is sometimes for him and others. And it's really important that he has the proper support and love and caring, and he is doing really well, and we are super duper proud of him. And he wanted to share his story. I asked him if it was okay, and he said absolutely, even if it just helps one person. And that, I think, pretty much embodies what kind of great kid he is. So with that, I'm going to show you what you're going to need to create this layout that I'm going to show you after I show you all the tools you need for it. I know, a little backwards, but it's okay. So you'll need a picture 5x7. You'll need a mat 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, and then another mat 5 1/2 by 7 1/2 inches. Okay, so we have these. It's basically double matted. Then you need some of your little wallet pictures. You'll need some white paper to stamp on. You'll need some blue ribbon. You'll need some black ink, scissors. You'll need a pen because you'll be doing a little bit of pen work. You'll need a stamp block. You'll need adhesive. And of course, you will need our awesome stamp set right here. This stamp set here is a Creative Journey with Melissa Awareness Ribbon Stamp Set 1. And this is one of the first ones that we created. It is super versatile, but not only is it versatile, I think this really, it really embodies all these wonderful words here, really embodies what I think about my son and what we as a family think about him. People have hard times. People can really struggle with a lot of things. You really don't know what people can be going through. And it's really important that we try to be compassionate, understanding, but most of all, know that everybody's journey is different, and that trying to enable people to get their tools that they need to try to process and healthily live a life when you have severe depression is super duper important. So I will say this blog post is more of a personal one than it is a creative one for me. As I'm sure you can imagine, I'm a mom, and yeah, this is a doozy. But with that said, make sure you read the blog. The blog's going to have a lot more information on it because I can't really put it all in the YouTube video, because there's posts and things I want to put in there just so you can kind of have a little bit of a background and things like that. So with that said, I'm going to show you what we're going to be creating. But before I do that, actually, I want to tell you that these pictures right here and this picture right here, I actually printed on cardstock. I love the feel and the look of the cardstock. I think it's really cool, and I love this picture. It's so awesome. And it makes me laugh. But I printed it on 60-pound cardstock in my printer, and I love it. And I do this often because I really like the texture, and I like how it's not even matte, it's just flat. I love the flat kind of look, and I think it's really cool for masculine creations. So I wanted to tell you that I did not use photo paper. I actually used cardstock 60-pound weight for that. So with that, I'm going to put this aside. Put all these little parts and pieces aside so that I can show you what we actually created. I have to say this is probably one of my proudest creations for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is because my son actually helped me create it. He is amazing in a number of ways. Really, there's not enough time in the day to tell you. But with that, he is instrumental in how this actually came out. I wasn't having a good time with these cute little pictures here, and I couldn't figure out how I wanted to put them, so he helped me kind of put them in the right way, and then we did the words and all that stuff, and have a little fuzzy right here. Let me get that off because that's going to annoy me. But at any rate, this is the creation right here. This right here, I think, pretty much embodies how someone that deals with mental illness and severe depression, things that they really are, need, and have, and need to continue to fight, to have hope, to go on the journey. Sometimes going through that journey is really difficult, but sometimes you just have to persevere and go through it because you do have the strength. You are a warrior. You have the support. You have to believe and have courage and determination that you will continue and get better. And with that love, you can do it. So this is the creation that I made for my dear son, Christian. And I'm going to show you the close-up a little bit here. Not everything is always smiles. He didn't really like this picture, but when he's really having a hard time, that pretty much embodies it. I thought it was a perfect way to see, you know, different sides and how he's having a hard time or things like that. And everybody has a hard time. Everybody deals with it differently, and he's really learning how to use those tools to deal with depression and try to not go and to a bad place. So with that, this is the creation. This is a scrapbook layout. I did not create this background. I could have. There's different ways you can do it with paint and all kinds of stuff, and canvas, and doing different textures and stuff like that. But fortunately, thank you, Kaiser Craft. It is, I'm squeaking, sorry about that. It is the base coat 4 palette of paper that I got this piece out of. So I'm going to show you what we need to do to create this. This is what it started off as. So that's the paper that we start off with, okay? But what I'm going to do is first, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and just start doing the stamping, because there's quite a bit of stamping in this creation because we're using all the words from this stamp set. So I'm going to take out my ink, I'm going to take out my stamp block, and I'm going to take out my stamps and get rolling on that so that we can get this creation going. It's a pretty simple one. It just the most time it takes is doing the words. That's it. So you can do it like all of them all at the same time, which will probably be time effective. I am making sure I have enough space in between because I want to make sure that I can cut them out into squares or rectangles like I did here, because I want to make sure that there's enough space in between so it doesn't get too close. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm actually going to put this one, like so, and this one like so. I think that'll help us get some ink on there, and we'll just ink those babies up and stamp them so I can cut them out when we're done. And I think this will save a little bit of time. I was going to avoid doing this for you guys because I figured you already know how to stamp, but I thought, oh, it's okay, we can do this. So I did, and here we are. And that looks pretty good. I don't like the one that, I don't like the Journey or the Fight. For some reason it didn't come out as nice as I would have liked it to. So I will do that one again. Fight, okay, so I like Survivor. I don't like Journey. I don't like Fight. I'm gonna pull Faith off, and I'm going to pull Strength off. So I'm just gonna do these guys real quick again, because I don't really like how they came out. Sometimes, I mean, these stamps, I gotta tell you, if I do say so myself, I love the way they stamp, but there's gonna be times where they don't stamp as perfect as I like them to, and I will do them again, and that's what I do. Yeah, this one just, I'm gonna clean it off. Maybe there's a little bit of residue here. Let's do that real quick. Whoops. If you haven't seen me before, I use the Stampin' Scrub, and I use the stamping mist to clean off my stamps every time, all the time, and it works, and that's why I use it. So that's what I'm doing here. So let me see if I can get, I think it's a little bit too wet here. Okay, let's try that. All right. Okay, yeah, you get a little music today. Let's see how this works. yeah, I still don't like it. Well, we will have to do that again. I just think it's too wet. I will do that in a minute. I might have a little bit of a dry ink pad there, but we shall see. So I'm going to do Warrior, and I'm going to do Hope. Like that, oops, like that. And then I'm going to try Journey again, like so. Okay, we'll ink this up. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a little bit retentive as far as that goes. And of course they're my stamps, so I want them to look nice. So let's do this. Ah, that looks great. Perfect. So like I said, I didn't do anything special. Sometimes it likes me, sometimes it doesn't. I'm trying to wipe off this ink here. Sometimes it stains, sometimes it doesn't. If for some reason your stamps actually stain, that's okay. It's not a problem. It might be for you, but it's not a problem as far as them working. They'll always work. It works fine. It's no problem there. And that is kind of how we roll here. So I'm just going to put some more stamps here. Like I said, this is probably going to be the longest part is stamping it. So let's do this. Right, so we're going to do this right here. Looks good. Okay, yeah, I think they just got a little bit too much water on them or something when I wiped them off, and the first time I had too much ink on them. I just can't win, can I? Anyway, so let's put this Determination one on there, and we have Courage. Let's do Courage up here. We'll do Determination right here, whoops, like that. And then we will do Perseverance. Actually, I think I'm going to do these two. Let's just do these two right now. So we'll just stamp these like so. Looks good to me. Again, these stamps do stamp fantastic. I love the font. It's one of my favorites, and I love the way it looks, and I love the thickness of it. It's one of my favorite fonts, like I said. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to just go through real quick and make sure, whoops, and make sure that I have the ones that I like. So I don't like this one. We have Journey. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. And I don't like that one. And that Fight, I don't like that Fight. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. How do I have 13? You're probably like, it's right there, it's right there. Yeah, I don't see it. So I'll cut them out and I'll see if I have it twice. Now, more than likely, I probably won't realize what it is, or I don't know how to count. So it could be both. At any rate, we're just going to continue on because I can't, you know, when you're in the middle of it, sometimes you can't see it. So I'm just going to keep rolling and see where we go from there. But the biggest thing about this month that's really super duper important is that if you feel like something's off, trust your gut. If you think something's wrong, trust your gut. Get help. Talk to someone. If you think that you're having a bad day, people do have bad days. I'm not saying that your bad day isn't a bad day. I'm not saying that there isn't more than one bad day. Sometimes that happens too, and it's very frustrating, and sometimes you can't see past that. But I will say this, it will get better. You need to try to get help and make sure that you know that people love you, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like they do. Sometimes you have situations where people just don't think that tomorrow's going to be any better, and know that it will get better. It may not be right away. It may take a few days, but every little step, you know, just like Rudolph, put one foot in front of the other. You know, sometimes you just have to do that and just have faith and believe that it will get better. That is a definite definite way to think about this, because mental health can be very difficult, can be very frustrating, can be very can make you very angry, and a lot of times people don't realize that it takes time to be in a good place. Sometimes people don't understand, and sometimes people don't want to take the time. It's important. It really is important. So with that, we're going to continue through, and let's see what we got here. I don't think I used this one. I did not. I'm just going to put that aside. You could use that, but we're going to use this one. I think it worked out better that way. So you just basically cut out all the little words. Nothing fancy, nothing, super, super, perfect or anything like that. I'm actually kind of cut them a little bit crooked and off because I like the way it looks. And I think it actually adds more character to the creation. So I am basically just cutting all these little words out. Again, I could have already had this cut out for you, and I thought about doing that, but I didn't want you to think that I was trying to hide how the stamps work, because the stamps work great. And I love showing off the stamps because they're fantastic. And basically this awareness ribbon stamp set is great because it covers anybody going through a hard time, and you could create something for someone that is has just lost someone that they love, and you could create something for someone that's going through a really difficult time or has accomplished some amazing things going through a difficult time. So there's a lot of different things you can do with these awesome stamps and with this creation. So everybody has a different version or a different definition of warrior. My warrior may not be the same as yours, but that does not mean that it's any better or worse. It just means that it's just different. And I think anybody that goes through something that's difficult and perseveres, that means that you are an amazing, amazing warrior. So keep fighting. Whatever it is, keep fighting. Because it is worth it. You can do this, and you are amazing. And you are definitely worth it. So, in the meantime, while I've got these little pieces of paper, I'm almost done. I know, longest cutting situation here, but I do think that this layout is probably one of my proudest moments. Besides the fact that it has my son in it. I have two amazing sons. They are both amazing, and mental illness can and does affect everybody. And it's important that you all get help. Not just the person that's affected directly, but the people surrounding those that are affected, because it can be very difficult, very trying. And just make sure that you get help. So, with that, we have these words done, so we're good there. I'm going to keep that on the side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do the word part now. Basically what I did was something really simple, is I just drew a line around it, and as you can see, it's not perfect, and even my pen went out, so it didn't quite do the whole thing, as you can see, but it just highlights, it just adds a little bit of something to the creation so that you can see that word, and it just pops it just a little bit, and I think it's important to, do that. So, I did that, and yeah, again, not perfect words. Look at that. That is less than perfect right there. That right there, less than perfect, but that's okay. That's the whole point. None of us are perfect. Anybody who thinks they are is a liar or delusional. But yeah, nobody's perfect. We all strive for perfection, but perfection, what exactly is that? I'm not sure that anybody even knows what that is. But I will say this. This is a lot of fun, And you can do a lot of really cool things with this, with bullet journaling, with like planners and stuff like that. It's really kind of neat to just say you want to pick a word for the month that you want to focus on, like courage. So you may do 2 things that month that you may not normally do. Or you want to, you know, try something that you may never have thought to try, like on your bucket list, so to speak. If you don't know what a bucket list is, it's kind of a funny little phrase, but it's something you want to make sure you do before you kick the bucket. I know, morbid, but true. So if you have a bucket list, you want to make sure that you do some cool stuff that you may have always wanted to do. So look at that, done, finished. We'll just put that on the side. Now, I promise that is probably the most time that we will take in the whole thing, because now we're ready to put it together. So we have this awesome picture. Now, as you can see, I did a different picture for the big one on the original. I did this one, this one. This is the other big picture I picked. Blah, blah, blah. That's 3 I printed, but excuse me. I thought that it would be better if I just went ahead and used this one because I had it printed already. So let's see what we got here. So we're just going to take this and just put it on here, just with a little bit of edge right there, like so. All right, looks like I need to cut it. It didn't get cut right, so let me take my trimmer and cut that up right. Got some red paper on there from another project I was doing earlier. Just doesn't end when you're creative, does it? So we put a little bit of paper like that. I don't like the way that came out, so I'm going to peel this off. Hopefully it will come off easily. Ah, yes, thank you. It came off easy enough to where I can do it again. Like I said, this is the secondary one, so this shouldn't be too bad. There, we'll pull this off, and then I will pull this part off, like so. Okay, now I'm going to get myself another piece of white paper and do a background, a better background piece of paper. Let's do this one. So we have this piece of paper right here, and you know what? I don't know if you know this, but when I do my pictures, when I do my videos, I do them in one shot. So when mistakes like this happen, that's kind of the way it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive back on here, like so. Fortunately, it didn't rip the paper, but if it did, we just have to reprint it. It happens. I'm going to leave a little bit of an edge here, like so. Okay. And now I'm just going to cut off the edges so we have that. So let's see what we got here. All right. Okay, that's cut. I think I'm going to cut a little bit more. It's a little bit thicker than I wanted it to be. So let's do this. There we go. That's better. That's what I was looking for. So we have that, and then we're going to cut this part like so. All right, that looks good. Now what we're going to do is take out the blue piece of paper that I already have pre-cut and hope that's done right. Is it done right? Woohoo! Kind of. It's kind of done right. How you like that? So what I'll do is I'm just going to trim a little bit off here, just a little bit, like so. That should do it. So much for having that all prepared for you. My apologies. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this guy. Whoops. And we're going to go ahead and put that on like so. Kind of center that baby a little bit. And it looks pretty darn good to me. Pretty good. Not too shabby. I'm going to trim off. No, you know what? I like it. It's staying that way. I like it, and it's going to stay. And this paper is basil paper. And what color is it? Wild berry pie. So that's the color of this paper, in case you were wondering. So now I'm going to show you the difference between the two that we had. And I think what I'm going to do is here, this is where I'm going to pick the pictures that we're going to put in here. So we have a silly one. So we can have the serious one, like so. And then I think we'll do the smiley one here, like that. I think that's what we're going to do. Do I like that one? Well, maybe I'll do it a little bit further in. Oh no. Maybe I'll do this one a little bit further in, like so. I'll lift this up a little bit, pulling it carefully so it doesn't totally rip. And we'll do it right like that. There we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive down there, and that sticks. So we're stuck. And then we have this one. I really like this picture. I really do. So we're going to do that one too. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here, like so. And we're just going to place it like this, just to change it up a little bit so it's not exactly perfect. And that looks good to me. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take this ribbon and we're going to take our advanced tape glider. We're going to hold our finger way up here, okay? And we're just going to run that tape glider down the middle of that ribbon. And when it feels like it's falling off the middle, just kind of recenter it a little bit, okay? And just pull it along, like so. So now you can see there's tape on it. There's tape on the ribbon. So what we're going to do is just take it, and I'm just going to lay it right like this by the edge, kind of eyeball it, run my finger like so, okay, lift that up, get my scissors, we're just going to cut that right there, and we're going to cut this right here. And that is how we got that part done. Now, if you wanted to, you could put ribbons on here. You could do a whole bunch of different things. Well, we all know that that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to be putting these beautiful words on here. Now, you ask, why would I do another one? Why not? I'm going to keep one of them for me. I might even frame one and put one in the scrapbook and all that. That's what I'm going to do. So, we have these words down here. I would start with the bigger ones and make sure that I put them in a place where there's room. So that's what I'm doing right now, just to make sure that we have some space for those bigger words. And then I'm going to put some of the smaller words up on top, like love, because it's a smaller space where the picture is. Okay, so we're just doing this like this. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. As a matter of fact, I like the fact it's not perfectly straight. I kind of encourage you to make it not perfectly straight. And yeah, I think it works perfect that way. So, perfectly imperfect. How you like that? So we're just adding these words that I think is super duper important when you have somebody that has mental illness and suffers from depression and really needs to have that extra support and love and understanding. Not everybody is patient. Patience is key for sure, because if you don't have patience, then it's possible you're not actually seeing what's happening in front of you. And I will tell you from experience, when things happen, somebody needs to be the adult, and not always is it me. So I've tried to train myself to be that adult, because it's important that I do that for my child, for our family, to make sure that I'm trying to do the best I can for my family and to support my kids, and make sure that, you know, sometimes things happen and it's very difficult, but we have to try to persevere. Very important. So Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do this one. And then we have hope is the last one, which hope is never the last one. Hope is what we should hold on to. And there we go. And that, my friends, is the newest creation. How you like that? You like how that came out? I hope you do. I really, really hope that you enjoyed being here today. And I really, really super duper hope that you check out our blog post, because there's stories there that I think are really important to share. And I think there's also stories there that are really important to tell. So please, please, although it is National Scrapbooking Month, that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. But I'm even more excited about sharing mental health awareness and making sure that if you need help, you get it. And you ask for help. You are not a coward to ask for help. You are not a coward if you think you need help, or you think something's wrong, or you feel like something's wrong. Trust your gut. Talk to someone. Anyone. Call me. Whatever you need. It's very important. It could save lives. Thank you so much for joining me on a creative and personal journey with Melissa. Have a great day.